history of the Middle East in a couple of minutes. Chapter 1.
Around the turn of the century, the Jews decided, we need a homeland. What I'm looking for is a nice MLT, mutton, lettuce, and tomato sandwich, and maybe, I don't know, a homeland. So they all start an ingathering. The Zionists are coming to reclaim the homeland. Palestinians, who aren't really called Palestinians, they're Syrians. They're kind of wandering around, tending their flocks, walking around basically in the desert. Find themselves with a bunch of Jews there in the desert with them. Would you like a nice MLT? Meanwhile, back in Britain, they're starting to ask themselves, Queenie, baby, what do we do? All these Jews are here. They're going to be starting picking fights now with the Arabs, and the Arabs aren't going to like it.
I don't know. Can't we just split the land?
Arabs don't like the idea. Wait a minute. Who are all these people coming in trying to take all of our land? We're the Jews. And let me tell you something. You know what this place really needs? Is a nice Jewish deli. Want some lox? Now comes the UN. The United Nations decides, you know what? They're going to split it all up. We're going to give half of it to, quote-unquote, Palestine, which is actually Syria, and the other part to the new Jewish homeland. That way, everybody's happy. Right. On May 14, 1948, the Zionists declare their own state, along with the United Nations. The next day, the Palestinians, aided by the armies of Jordan, Egypt, Syria, Lebanon, Saudi Arabia, and, whoa, Iraq, gotta love them, launched a war to prevent Jewish independence and to secure control of all of the land. Unfortunately, in that war, the Zionists not only managed to hold all the areas assigned to them by the United Nations, but seized part of the land designated for the Palestinian state as well.
In other words, they kicked ass.
Here's the thing everybody always leaves out of the history books. The other areas designated for the Palestinians by the United Nations were taken, not by the Israelis, but by Jordan and Egypt. Jordan annexed the West Bank, while Egypt said, hey, Gaza's district, you're out. But don't worry. In the next episode, we're going to find out that neither Arab state allowed the Palestinians to form their own independent government in either of these areas. Those wacky Arabs.
This has been the history of the Middle East.